Instagram ya Pak?
Kedai Kopi Bun.
Kedai Kopi Bun buka dari jam
7 pagi sampai jam 10 malam.
Sebelum kerja bisa kesini dulu dong.
Betul.
Ya udah kalau gitu saya minta gratis. Apa kita mau lain di depan? Oke. Boleh gratis nggak nih? Makasih ya Pak. Soalnya buat kameramen saya juga kasihan. Nih, dikit, lumayan nyobain. Nih. Cobain dulu. Gimana? Mantap kan? Nanti gue kasih lagi. Ya udah, saya lanjut ngopi dulu. Terima kasih. Enak banget. Ngapain di sini? Iya. Harus pegang kamera. Yaudah kita ngopi bareng, ngopi bareng. Cobain aja, santai. Gini minumnya? Iya. Biar lebih enak tuh digini biasanya nanti. Nih. Diaduk biar aduk.
Halo, cemong, hai.
Oh, itu artinya enak.
Kép cổ lên không lưỡi.
Đây khá đi. Xem nào không? Yang sebelah sana bau Pak. Mantap. Oke, kita cobain lagi. Saya kira
Cấp chục không lưỡi của ấy.
ada kopi yang dari Sumatera enak artinya.
Oke, tetap di urban circuit.
Ya udah closing. Akhir kata saya Oki Julia.
Saya Ubang sebagai capersnya.
Kita berdua harus pamit dari Urban Street Food.
Iya dong. Oke. Kerja lagi.
Udah nggak usah peduliin kamera. Kita mau kopi lagi. Ayo kopi. Bodo amat kerja. Enak.
Government to implement quarantine-free trials for travelers. BPS records deflation in February 2022. Good evening. It's Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. Market Atlas is ready to provide you information from business and economic. With me, Wicky Adrian. This is Market Headlines. The government decided to reduce the quarantine period for travelers to 3 days. Not only that, the government even reveals the plan to conduct a quarantine-free trials for travelers, which will take effect on March 14th, 2022.
Starting March 1st, 2022, the government will conduct a 3-day quarantine for foreign travelers who have been fully vaccinated and boosted. The government claims this was done after the government received input from experts and also from the results of data analysis. In addition, the government will also conduct a trial without quarantine for foreign travelers who will come to Bali, and it is planned that it will take effect on March 14, 2022.
1 Maret mendatang, pemerintah hanya akan memperlakukan karantina 3 hari bagi PPLN yang sudah vaksinasi lengkap dan juga booster. Selain itu, pemerintah juga akan melakukan uji coba tanpa karantina bagi PPLN yang datang ke Bali dan direncanakan akan berlaku pada tanggal 14 Maret mendatang dengan beberapa persyaratan diantaranya. Bisa saja 14 Maret ini kita percepat ke tanggal berapa, kalau data-data nanti selama minggu ke depan angkanya itu membaik. Karena di Bali kelihatannya kemarin kami lihat selama beberapa minggu terakhir angkanya terus membaik.
However, the government does not rule out the possibility that the government will abolish the quarantine system for foreign travelers throughout Indonesia, which is targeted on April 1st. Luhut explained that the government chose Bali as the location for the pilot trial because the second dose vaccination rate for the public was already high compared to other provinces. IDX Channel reports.
The Health Ministry predicts that COVID-19 cases will decrease in the next 2 weeks. The prediction is based on the latest data, which shows the case of COVID-19 in Indonesia has been sloping.
The Minister of Health, Budi Gunadi Sadikin, predicts that national COVID-19 cases will fall in the next 2 weeks. Budi reminded the case of COVID-19 in Indonesia has been sloping. The decline was due to the easing of cases in a number of densely populated provinces.
Hasil review minggu lalu secara nasional, tren kasus dan hospitalisasi harian sudah mulai melandai. Kami melihat beberapa provinsi sudah confirm terjadi penurunan dari jumlah penularan maupun juga positivity rate-nya. Seperti DKI Jakarta, Bali, Banten, Maluku, Papua, NTB, itu sudah mulai menurun. Confirm ya, 3 minggu berturut-turut. Kedepannya dalam seminggu, 2 minggu ke depan secara nasional akan turun.
Not only the aforementioned provinces, several other provinces have also experienced a downward trend in COVID-19 cases in the past week. For information, the daily COVID-19 cases had reached its highest point on February 16, 2022, which reached 64,000 cases. After that, it fluctuated but did not exceed the case on February 16th. IDX Channel reports.
During his working visit in Banda Aceh, Trade Minister Muhammad Lutfi said that the ministry has ensured that cooking oil stocks are safe during the holy month of Ramadan. At the same time, he also ensures there will be no price fluctuations on staple foods.
Trade Minister Muhammad Lutfi said that the Trade Ministry has ensured that cooking oil stocks are safe during the holy month of Ramadan and to be unserved in April 2022. The minister delivered his statement during his working visit in Banda Aceh, Aceh Province. He guaranteed that in addition to cooking oil, the Trade Ministry also ensures there would be no price fluctuations on staple food supplies such as sugar and soybeans.
Sebenarnya minyak goreng masih ada, tersedia, tetapi harganya tidak sesuai dengan harga eceran tertinggi yang diatur oleh pemerintah. Karena mungkin juga supply dan distribusi daripada minyak goreng ini belum sempurna sesuai sebelum ditetapkannya Permendak nomor 6. Oleh sebab itu, kami sudah memastikan bahwa supply akan datang dan mudah-mudahan akan berangsur normal dalam seminggu ke depan ini.
Additionally, the Minister of Trade would continue to minimize the impact of the availability of beef, as Australia has announced it is limiting beef exports in 2022. Lutfi invited the local governments to work together in reducing the price of meat, given the increase in international prices. IDX Channel reports.
Moving on to global update, the first round of Ukraine-Russia talks have concluded with no immediate agreements. Meanwhile, Switzerland announced that it will join the European Union in imposing sanctions on Russia. More stories on today's International Minute.
The first round of Ukraine-Russia talks aimed at ending the fighting between Moscow and its neighbor have concluded with no immediate agreements. The talks took place near the Belarus-Ukraine border on Monday as Russian troops continued their attack on Ukrainian cities, including the second-largest Kharkiv, on the 5th day of Russia's invasion. Vladimir Medinsky, who headed the Russian delegation, said the two sides found certain points on which common positions could be foreseen. Another round of talks was agreed to, Medinsky said. In a sharp break with its long-standing neutrality, Switzerland on Monday announced that it would join the European Union in imposing sanctions on Russia over its invasion of Ukraine, filling a key gap in Western efforts to curb the Kremlin following widespread criticism of the Swiss government. The Swiss had 4 days held off on following the EU and the United States, citing the nation's long-standing role as a neutral and diplomacy-focused country. Switzerland will also close its airspace to flights from Russia and planes with Russian markings, and bar 5 oligarchs close to Russian President Vladimir Putin from entering the country. Ordinary Russians face the prospect of higher prices and cramped foreign travel as Western sanctions over the invasion of Ukraine send the ruble plummeting, leading uneasy depositors to line up at banks and ATMs on Monday in a country that has seen more than one currency disaster in the post-Soviet era. The Russian currency plunged about 30% against the US dollar after Western nations announced unprecedented moves to block some Russian banks from the SWIFT international payment system and to restrict Russia's use of its massive foreign currency reserves. The exchange rate later recovered ground after quick action by Russia's central bank. Energy giant BP has opened a new front in the West campaign to isolate Russia's economy, with its decision to quit the oil-rich country the most aggressive move yet by a company in response to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. BP, the biggest foreign investor in Russia, said it was abandoning its stake in state oil company Rosneft at a cost of up to $25 billion, shrinking its oil and gas reserves in half. IDX Channel reports.
Mandalika is ready to welcome MotoGP spectators. Market headlines will be right back.
Ingin menjalani kehidupan yang mapan dan masa depan yang sejahtera? Sikapi uang dengan bijak. Mulailah berinvestasi di pasar modal. Dengan membeli saham melalui Bursa Efek maupun perusahaan sekuritas, Anda dapat menikmati hasil keuntungan dari perusahaan-perusahaan besar yang tersedia. Pastikan Anda berinvestasi di perusahaan yang memiliki izin resmi, cerdas mengelola, masa depan sejahtera. Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, lembaga pengawas industri jasa keuangan yang terpercaya.
Della Repubblica di Indonesia.
Presidensi G20 di Indonesia akan mendorong upaya bersama untuk pemulihan ekonomi dunia dengan tema Recover Together, Recover Stronger. Kami akan menjamu Yang Mulia dan Bapak Ibu di hamparan pantai Bali yang indah, yang menginspirasi gagasan-gagasan inovatif untuk produktivitas G20 ke depan. Sampai bertemu di Indonesia, terima kasih.
Nah, idenya itu bermula dengan saya dan 2 orang kawan kuliah. Jadi kami temenan kuliah, tapi kami bertiga ini backgroundnya sama-sama dari fishery industry.
Perbincangan hangat tentang isu dan kebijakan ekonomi terkini yang diulas secara mendalam bersama narasumber terpercaya. Market Review, Senin sampai Jumat, jam 10 waktu Indonesia bagian Barat, hanya di IDX Channel.
Welcome back. The Central Statistic Agency, or BPS, recorded a deflation of 0.02% in February 2022 based on the results of BPS monitoring. In 90 cities in February 2022, there was a decline in the CPI from 108.26 in January to 108.24 in February. BPS Deputy for Distribution Statistics and Services Setyanto said that the driver of this deflation was the decline in commodity prices such as cooking oil, broiler eggs, and chicken meat. With the deflation, calendar year inflation is recorded at 0.54%, and year-on-year inflation is 2.06%. However, deflation did not occur in core inflation, while in the same month, core inflation was recorded at 0.2% on a monthly basis.
Bulan Februari 2022 ini terjadi deflasi sebesar 0,02%. Jadi berdasarkan hasil pemantauan BPS di 90 kota, pada Februari 2022 terjadi deflasi 0,02% atau terjadi penurunan indeks harga konsumen dari 108,26 pada Januari 2022 menjadi 108,24 pada Februari 2022. Bapak sekalian, penyumbang deflasi utama adalah terkait dengan harga-harga komoditas minyak goreng, telur ayam ras, serta daging ayam ras.
After inaugurating the Manado-Bitung toll road, President Joko Widodo said that the presence of the toll road will trigger new points of economic growth, especially in the North Sulawesi region.
President Joko Widodo inaugurated the Manado-Bitung toll road in Bitung City, North Sulawesi on Friday, after construction of the 13.5 km Danuwudu-Bitung section was completed.
Seluruh jalan tol Manado-Bitung sepanjang 39,8 km tuntas dan siap dimanfaatkan untuk mendukung seluruh aktivitas masyarakat di Provinsi Sulawesi Utara. Dan jalan tol ini akan mempermudah pengiriman logistik, mobilitas barang, mobilitas orang dari Manado ke Bitung, Manado ke Pelabuhan Internasional Bitung, dan juga kita berharap dari pembangunan ini akan muncul titik-titik pertumbuhan ekonomi baru, dan kita harapkan pertumbuhan ekonomi di Sulawesi Utara melebihi dari nasional.
Meanwhile, the North Sulawesi governor noted that the completion of construction of the Manado-Bitung toll road would support economic growth in the region. He also highlighted that amid the COVID-19 pandemic, North Sulawesi's economy had managed to grow by 4.17% in 2021. North Sulawesi's economic growth rate exceeded Indonesia's 2021 national economic growth that was at 3.69%. IDX Channel reports.
The Ministry of Finance noted that the Sharia securities succeeded in financing more than 4,000 projects across Indonesia worth 175.3 trillion rupiah during the 2013 to 2022 period.
The Ministry of Finance noted that state Sharia securities, referred to as state sukuk, succeeded in financing 4,247 projects across Indonesia worth 175.37 trillion rupiah during the 2013-2022 period. The ministry detailed the projects that were successfully financed by sukuk, including 576 roads and bridge infrastructure projects worth 61.08 trillion rupiah.
Berbagai pembangunan di seluruh Indonesia. Harapannya dengan kita terus membangun dalam kondisi pandemi ini akan menjadi booster pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia. Nah, ini terus kita lakukan di tahun ini. Sampai sekarang sudah 4.000 proyek lebih di seluruh Indonesia, baik di bidang pendidikan, sosial, infrastruktur.
The others receiving sukuk financing comprised 673 natural resource infrastructures projects amounting to 30.94 trillion rupiah, as well as 130 land, sea and air transportation infrastructure projects and training and education worth 52.23 trillion rupiah. Amid the pandemic that struck in 2020 to 2021, Irianti noted that the construction of state sukuk projects could still run well. The realization can also reach above 90%, thereby demonstrating that state sukuk projects financed by public investment can offer real benefits and support domestic economic growth, she affirmed. IDX Channel reports.
The government has ensured the tactical readiness for the implementation of the 2022 MotoGP Mandalika, which will be held from March 18th to March 20th. The Deputy for Tourism Products and Creative Economy, Rizky Handayani Mustafa, said that ahead of the 2022 MotoGP event, Mandalika continues to beautify itself to welcome tourists. Currently, readiness has almost reached 100%. Rizky said that currently all sectors are maximizing preparations. In terms of immigration, the government has conducted simulations. Then the Ministry of Public Works and Public Housing ensures that the road to be used in the best condition. Meanwhile, regarding the audience, it will only be allowed as many as 60,000 viewers. At the same time, the Ministry of Transportation said that it had spent 21 billion rupiah to support MotoGP Mandalika.
Ini akan mengangkat image atau mempromosikan Indonesia secara umum dan tentunya Mandalika secara khusus. Kita sudah tinggal untuk di 18 hari lagi dalam rangka pelaksanaan. Jadi ini kita semua di semua sektor, baik mulai dari imigrasi di bandara ketika akan masuknya para peserta dari luar.
Dan kemudian biaya untuk tahun 2022 dari Perhubungan Darat menyiapkan anggaran sekitar 21,2 miliar. Di antaranya adalah untuk shuttle bus, sewa shuttle bus, kemudian ada bus antar modanya, kemudian halte bus. Halte bus kita siapkan ada sekitar 4 halte yang sedang kita bangun. Sehingga nanti masyarakat untuk dari satu lokasi.
As well, gross net profit jumped up more than 100% in 2021 right after the break on market headlines.
Sektor UMKM hanya akan dikenakan pajak final 0,5%.
Awali hari Anda dengan informasi dunia ekonomi yang diulas dari berbagai sudut pandang. Power Breakfast, Senin sampai Jumat, jam 8.30, hanya di IDX Channel.
Kenapa sih namanya mesti Aruna?
Jadi Aruna ini dari bahasa Sanskerta yang artinya matahari yang terbit di laut. Harapannya sih Aruna ini bisa jadi harapan untuk masyarakat pesisir Indonesia. Kalau dari Aruna sendiri, kami itu adalah startup yang fokusnya untuk memajukan ekonomi maritim atau marine and fishery technology yang kita ciptakan. Nah, idenya itu bermula dengan saya dan 2 orang kawan.
Presidente della Repubblica di Indonesia.
Presidensi G20 di Indonesia akan mendorong upaya bersama untuk pemulihan ekonomi dunia dengan tema Recover Together, Recover Stronger. Kami akan menjamu Yang Mulia dan Bapak Ibu di hamparan pantai Bali yang indah yang menginspirasi gagasan-gagasan inovatif untuk produktivitas G20 ke depan. Sampai bertemu di Indonesia, terima kasih.
Perbincangan hangat tentang isu dan kebijakan ekonomi terkini yang diulas secara mendalam bersama narasumber terpercaya. Market Review, Senin sampai Jumat, jam 10 waktu Indonesia bagian Barat, hanya di IDX Channel.
Welcome back. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JSI was opened at the level of 6,975.47. Then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 6,953.18. Then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,921.44. In short, JCI went up 0.48%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got technology as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 3.06%. Energy went up 1.27%, and health as the leader of the weakening trend that went down 1.69%. Transportation and logistic went down 0.66%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. BBRI went up 1.76% to the level of 4,630 rupiah per share. Adaro went up 5.31% to the level of 2,580 rupiah per share. Telkom went up 0.23% to the level of 4,350 rupiah per share. Arto went up 2.01% to the level of 16,500 rupiah per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Astra International went down 1.72% to the level of 5,700 rupiah per share. Bank Mandiri went down 0.65% to the level of 7,650 rupiah per share. MDKA went down 1.55% to the level of 3,810 rupiah per share. And Bank BNI or BBNI went down 0.94% to the level of 7,925 rupiah per share. And this is the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar, open at the level of 14,257. Rupiah was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar, was closed at the level of 14,417. In summary, rupiah went down 1.12%. Astra Agro Lestari managed to record a positive performance in 2021. The company posted 1.97 trillion rupiah net profit, or grew by 130% year on year.
Over the past year, Astra Agro Lestari managed to record a positive performance as reflected in a significant increase in both revenue and net profit. The financial report shows Astra Agro posted a 29.32% increase in net income throughout 2021. The majority of the company's revenue comes from crude palm oil and its derivatives with a value of 22.02 trillion rupiah. That number is up 26.77% compared to the 2020 total, which was worth 17.37 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, palm kernel products and their derivatives and other products contributed 2.2 trillion rupiah and 96.49 billion rupiah respectively. Along with the increase in income, the cost of revenue was recorded to have also increased. Selling expenses increased slightly by 1.12%. Meanwhile, general and administrative expenses rose 39.05%. Meanwhile, the total net profit rose 136.63% to 1.97 trillion rupiah. IDX Channel reports.
PTPP will release a total of 19 property assets belonging to its subsidiaries. Through this transaction, the company expects to obtain 5 trillion rupiah of fresh funds.
In order to strengthen its business capital, PTPP will release a total of 19 property assets belonging to its subsidiaries. The company is targeting funds of around 5 trillion rupiah through this divestment. The disposal of these property assets is recognized as the company's strategy to acquire other earning assets. In the future, PTPP will invest in the real sector, be more selective in choosing new investments, and focus on investments that are already underway or on new investments. PTPP will release 19 property assets spread over 8 land areas in Jakarta, Surabaya, Semarang, Bekasi, and several locations in West Java, as well as 11 apartment assets spread across Surabaya, Bekasi, Tangerang, and Semarang areas. The assets released by the company are apartments, land banks, and landed houses. In addition, the company also plans to release vacant land with a total area of 46.1 hectares. IDX Channel reports.
And the news close our market lines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening.
PT Adalum Indonesia Tbk
Informasi
ADX,
penutupan pasar
anak
saham
usahanya
terbaru
menetapkan
hari ini.
harga penawaran umum perdana saham atau IPO. Bagaimana Anda melihat
Diulas secara
pergerakan
interaktif
indeks harga
bersama
saham
pemirsa
gabungan
di rumah,
sepanjang perdagangan
juga
hari
para
ini?
analis
Untuk saat ini
terpercaya.
sebenarnya posisi ISG sebenarnya sudah masih dalam tren yang sideways. Sepekan ke depan saya pikir potensi dia untuk sampai
Second
dengan
session
di
closing.
6.600 itu sangat
Senin
cukup
sampai
besar.
Jumat pukul 15.00 hanya di IDX Channel.